Yes, I'm live. Yes, and I'm almost alone. I have someone with me to keep me company until my other people show up because they're I don't know if they're punctual people. I can't tell. Oh my gosh, I think someone just came in. Someone just came in at the same time. But I'm gonna give him 1 second before Ryan. You're gonna have to wait. I have someone with me right now. Uh, you might have recognized him if you're one of the 11 people that watched the freaking video. But on the last video, I had my good buddy here, Jim. Jim, hello, Jim,
Hello. Hello.
and hello. And last episode, I had in my Indie Kicks episode, Jim has a fantastic book called The Atonement Bell going on right now, and I was really disappointed because it only got 11 views. I mean, I just like, oh, come on, man. So I want to just kind of say again, you guys. First of all, you missed a great video. Like, I mean, I'm not even trying to be like jump up the numbers. I'm not even saying that for that. I'm saying legitimately, if you want to learn about writing or just about how to make comic books and like get an idea of how to get it started, that video is a great starter, like just even primer, just to get an idea of what's going on. My boy Jim here knows all about it and was spewing some like just awesome knowledge, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome knowledge. And the books are great, man. The books are
Thank
great.
you.
So
Thanks.
I just wanted to get another chance for you to promote your book because Atonement Bell has how much time left before it gets funded?
I think as of tomorrow, it will be 15 days, I believe.
Okay.
And I think we're a little over 74% funded with 15 days to go. So we're at the halfway point, and that's really good. But the whole thing with doing the Kickstarter is you just want to get the story into as many hands as you can.
Right.
And because I just want, if you write something, the whole point of writing something is for people to enjoy it, to have it in their lives, So that's what I'm really after and excited about. And we're so far so good, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. It's getting close. So people, if you have not yet gone and contributed to this great book that I'm excited about, and I'm not just saying that. I legitimately am super excited about it, and I can't wait to do it. Again, and Jim, I'm just going to show through some stuff here real quick for you,
Okay.
guys. Because this page alone, I always say it page incredible. This page is incredible. So this is the kind of stuff you're going to get for this book, man. And I just think it looks awesome. More stuff here like this. It's a horror book. If you like horror, I mean, support indie books. Jim's a great guy. The art's incredible. I mean, I honestly, I can't wait for it. I really can't. I'm super stoked.
Awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to get it out there. I mean, that's, I'm kind of champing at the bit, to get to the end of the Kickstarter and really dive into the rest of the serious work. I'm really super excited about that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get a link here in a second for the Kickstarter too, for everyone. So, but Jim, I know Jim just stopped by for a few more minutes, and we're just gonna hang out because our Justin from Let's Go Network is being a family man. He's getting a little extra time to his family. I get it, so that's cool. I got Jim here. We're good.
That's so lame.
I know, dude. Families, dude. Like, screw that. It's all about being single and being the party, Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know a single guy right now who's about to come on and join us here. He's technically single. I wouldn't say he's single because he's got his Mira, as he likes to call her. His Mira, Mr. Ryan Lauer. How are you, sir?
Gentlemen, hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. Jim, good to see you. That page looks phenomenal.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's Raymond Estrada. That's our artist on this project. And yeah, he's really amazing. I'm over the moon working with the guy. It was cool seeing his artwork for the first time because before he was working with me because I was thinking, man, this guy's artwork is perfect for the story I'm doing. Yeah. And to be able to actually get him on board and work with him is awesome.
So if I can just ask, because I'm always definitely very interested in this sort of topic. So as you're presenting to him, do you provide a lot of notes or is there just a discussion and you just have at it?
Oh, you mean when we start working on the comic itself?
Yeah.
Well, I try to make the script as detailed as possible, but without making it like a book, because you want the artist to have their own interpretation also and all that kind of stuff. So I start out with a really detailed outline that I give to the artist, and then I give them the script, and then probably the furthest I go with what you're asking about probably is reference photos.
Sure.
Like he lives in Los Angeles. I'm from St. Louis, and the story actually, this one takes place in St. Louis. It's my first time writing about sort of my home city,
Mhm.
and so I had to provide him some research, for the aesthetics of the whole thing. Because if you're from like either one of the coasts and you think about St. Louis, you think about it. They tend to think about it as being more of a southern city,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really not at all. It's lots of brick. It's like any other city, really. So we had to sort of work through that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, just giving the right amount of details in the script and providing some reference photos and for things that are important to you as for the writer.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much it. I mean, he's so good though that he requires very little,
Yeah.
for me.
I was gonna say, as soon as you saw some work, then were you kind of like, yeah, you got this, we're good?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, that's why he's got a book that's out now called The Box on Red 5 Comics with Joshua
Okay.
Starnes. And Josh, a few months ago, showed me some of the artwork that Raymond was doing, and I saw it, and it was like, oh my gosh, this guy is like a godsend, for the story that I want to do. His style is perfect. So I pitched him the story for the Atonement Bell, and he liked it, luckily, and now we're working together on it. And I love it.
That's
And
great.
I just went and I put the link in the notes here, so I want everyone to know to go please support the Kickstarter. Please go support the Atonement Bell. It looks awesome, and it's funny because when Jim was on the show, which I don't know if you watched the last episode, Ryan, but or listened to. I'm just
Ryan
gonna call
didn't
you out.
watch it.
He didn't watch it. We could tell in that face. It was like, oh, you didn't.
What? You're breaking up, Paul. I can't hear
what?
you.
Dottie.
Yeah.
No, but I asked Jim what were your first earliest comic books were, and can you tell me the I'm pretty sure you're gonna remember what I'm gonna say. What was your first superhero comic book that you read that you told me about, Jim?
Oh yeah, it was Batman, and it was it was from the late it was from the late 60s, and it was about this villain called the Masquerader. And basically what happens is Batman gets his uniform damaged,
Mm-hmm.
and you find out that Bruce Wayne and Batman have a tailor who's sworn to secrecy and makes his costumes and repairs them and stuff. But then he becomes a villain, and yeah, it's pretty intense.
I've never heard of the story.
No.
But it's kind of like I it was my first comic, and so I'm super nostalgic about it. And so I bought it recently on eBay, a new copy of it, because my old one was worn out. And people look at it and they're like, why do you like this story? It's kind of goofy. I was like, well, it is kind of goofy, but I love it. It makes me happy.
I've never heard of this. I didn't know Batman had his own tailor. And did you know about this?
I
Mr.
didn't,
Batman
and
Book Club?
of course, yeah. So Paul, now twice you've put me on the spot and I've failed. So I'm just waiting for you.
Well,
to
I'm just calling you out, homie. I mean, come on.
I mean, in my defense, he appeared but once in 1969 in Detective Comics 390. So
That's what it was.
I have not read
Oh!
every single.
You know,
but
It was Detective Comics. I'm across my desk in the drawer. I've got the issue. I should show it to you guys. You want me to grab it real quick?
yes.
Yeah, no, do it, please.
I'd love
please. No, yes. So you actually read this comic before?
No.
Okay.
I haven't. Now I want. Now I will. I mean,
well, see,
I
I think you need to have Jim on your book club because now you've got something here now that sounds rad. I mean, come on,
Masquerader.
Dude, when he said that last episode, I literally was blown away how I've never heard that. And I never thought of the idea of Batman's tailor becoming a bad guy. Like, how rad is that?
Written by Frank Robbins and illustrated by Bob Brown. So this was before, I mean, Carmine Infantino was part of DC as an executive editor, but this was before the O'Neill Adams era began,
Crazy.
So
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean the art in that definitely looks like they started to take a dark turn toward it. So, very cool. I mean, it's got to be on DC Universe Infinite.
We call it Infinite.
Infinite. No, that's a joke because when Justin Kowalski was on,
when he eventually shows up.
Yeah, when he was on my show, and I think we made a joke about it, like right when they were renaming it and changed it from DC Universe to DC Universe Infinite, and we just casually pronounced it as Infinite, and then it just stuck. I don't think he'll remember that, but
well, I'll look it up here in a second. But yeah, I love the going. You were able to go back and do all this Batman comic books and everything, and that whole idea of masquerading. I'm like, man, where has this story been? Where is this in the Grant Morrison pick up this thread? Yeah, bring it back. Did Grant Morrison do something with this?
Well, I don't know if you saw this, but I'm totally ready for you. My Batman Forever glass.
Yeah, I saw it. Oh, yes, in Albanese. In the Albanese.
Sherbet gummy bears in Albanese from Merrillville, Indiana, about 2 hours from me right now. I went there actually a couple weeks ago. Went into the plant. Yeah.
Wait, the actual Albanese plant?
Yes.
Like literally where they made the gummy bears.
Literally where they made the gummy bears. The little green sour apple or green apple, little green Army Men gummies.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. It was pretty sweet. It smelled delicious.
Wait, hold on. You told me. Oh, that looks beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, so it's Batman and Robin. Yeah, and that's him right there. And,
awesome.
And this was actually, I think it was like an old comic that my dad, who was a police officer in the city, someone left behind at a Trailways bus station or something, and he brought it home because it was older, than I was at the time. But yeah, it's like,
oh, that looks in great shape too.
Yeah, I know, man.
Look at that coloring; it's not really faded,
dude. The art looks great. Who'd you say the artist was? Ryan. The artist was Brown something.
The artist was Bob Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
That is fantastic. Oh, I love that. That color looks great.
And you got the ads on the back, of course.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Supercharger racer set.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
And there's even like a Robin the Boy Wonder solo story in the back.
Oh, like a backup story?
Oh, it's a with Robin. Oh my gosh, Robin's in like the actual like logo thing. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Great. That's awesome. So I have a funny story. So when me and Jim started talking about him getting on the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got all super stoked, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'd worked on this comic called Butcher Queen," and I was like, "Okay, I'll check this out too." And I'm like, "This looks sweet." And I go and order it. I went to online and ordered it from the first thing I saw. It was Thrift Books. Hold on a second. Hold on. I think I have it here somewhere too. So there's more to the story. So where the heck did I put it? Dang it. Oh, that's not it. Dang it. Where'd I go? So I got to make sure I can find it. I don't know where it went. Anyway, so I'm stoked. I saw some pictures online. I'm super excited, order it and support Jim. And I order it, and it's taking a while to get here. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I got it last Friday. I open it up, and it's just the first issue. Right? That's all it is. And I ordered the graphic novel. And I'm like, wait a minute. I paid like $15-16 for this thing.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. So I go, what? And no offense, but like I'm not spending anyone's comic. I'm like $15. I mean, come on. And not only that,
Except
it's beat
this.
to hell. Yeah, right. But it's beat to hell. It's like this beat to hell, and it's got like a sticker on it saying like Thrift Books. So I'm like, what? So I emailed them. I'm like, yeah, this is not cool. And they did reimburse me. They said. And that's when I went on to and I ordered Red 5 Comics, went on direct to the publisher itself, the Red 5 Comics for Butcher Queen, and picked that up ASAP, which then I found out that my friend here actually donated one of his own copies that Red 5 published that he had extra copy of and then sent to me because they didn't have any more because it's sold out.
So, yeah.
So I have a copy coming from my good buddy Jim here. I'm super stoked.
That's awesome.
That was very sweet of you. Yeah, it was super sweet. But
Oh, no
dude,
problem,
I was just so funny. I get in there, I'm like, oh cool. Wait, this looks really slim. I'm like, slim. I'm pretty sure 4 issues is bigger than this. And I open it up. I'm like, it's 1 issue. Are you serious?
I didn't know
was
that's
so
part of the
pissed.
story. That's terrible. At least they reimbursed you, you know.
Well,
But
they
with
said they
Red
did.
Five, they actually forgot to put the out of stock on the site for that book. So when you ordered it, it's like the publisher Scott at Red 5 called me and said, do you have any more copies of this? And I said, yeah, I do.
And then you're like, wait a minute, it's that guy. I know that guy. That's so rad. No, it was just so funny because I'm like, I got 1 issue and I'm like, what the hell is this?
So also, I did include with the graphic novel issue 1 of Butcher Queen Planet of the Dead, the sequel series.
Nice.
And it's the one with the Tim Bradstreet cover.
God,
So
nice.
it's pretty cool.
Dude, it's so rad to know like someone out there like you, Jim, is putting out books and just do it. You know, you have your own thing going on and you're just doing it and you're just seem like you're stoked about it and you're putting out good work. People buying it, got publishers publishing it. I mean, that's rad, man. That's
Thanks,
to
man.
me is like,
Well, it keeps me
what
off
a
the
dream.
streets. And that's good for society.
That's key. Keeping you
That is
off
so
the
key.
streets.
comics keeping
That's
you off the
funny,
streets
yeah.
since like the early 20s, right? I mean,
Comics are
not
here
you,
to
but
save us all.
yeah, comics are supposed to save us all. So, so Ryan told me
sir.
he had you had a big stack of things you wanted to talk about. So why don't
boy.
you start? While we wait for Justin and Jim. Whenever you need to jump off, just let me know, and you can do that. So it's up to you. You can say as long as you want.
Paul,
You actually
tell
have
me.
a stack. Oh my god.
Like-
oh my god.
Let's start with
Okay.
the freshest.
All right, what do we got? Hit me up. Come on.
Speaking of backing, this just came today.
Oh
Have you heard of this?
no.
Have you ever heard of Ed Gein?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know Ed Gein.
So Harold Schechter and Eric Powell, they did this. This was a Kickstarter thing where they're basically they were telling, it's like a crime graphic novel, but the story of Ed Gein, and the art is just like
Whoa.
it's
Oh,
black
yeah.
and white, but it's in such a great kind of like
That was
sketch
fantastic.
look. And then
That's
yeah,
really cool.
I'm such a weird. I'm physical. I love digital because it's very beneficial, but I love to have
Yes.
my hands on a
Same.
physical
Me too.
copy. Oh
Yeah, me too.
Still in
Yeah.
that fresh paper. It's
Whew.
weird, but Yankee needs to make a candle. But
I'd buy it.
Like the
Yeah,
but the
exactly.
quality of this, like the paper, the book, the slip cover and stuff like that
Oh, it's beautiful.
is so worth it. And then because it exceeded their expectations, they threw in a sketchbook with it as well, which is a cool. Because I'm a sucker for that too. I love looking at
same.
behind the scenes
We're doing
sketchwork scripts.
We just announced that as one of our not for that book, but for the Atonement Bell. We're doing a sketchbook for that as well. For that's our first stretch goal for all backers.
Awesome.
As soon as we're done, Paul, make sure to get me that link, and I will be there. And
It's in the link, dude. I put it in the chat. It's in there. There's no excuses for you, sir.
Oh,
There's
I don't
no
see
excuses
it.
for you.
Oh, there we go. It's because I had the
Yeah,
wrong
there it
thing
is.
clicked. There we go.
And-
Okay.
And so
Done.
please go and
It-
support the Atonement Bell. It's gonna be rad,
Very
man.
cool.
And
Now-
that's oh, go ahead. Please
No,
continue.
I'm sorry. This is your show, Paul. So.
No, it's our show. We're
Something
all
that
doing this together.
that never gets talked about, and I showed this to Paul. It was the old EC
Oh yeah.
comics of Creepy. Have you ever heard of those,
Oh.
Jim?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they did a new series a couple years ago. Started it called The Creeps, and it's essentially
Yep.
the same thing. It's like a magazine
it's
format, and the covers are from Frank Frazetta.
Oh
my gosh!
Yeah. He beat you, bro. He beat you in your own
Fantastic.
game.
Yes, God, Jim's
No,
great.
you know what? When I was a kid, I used to love like the oversized. I mean, a little bit oversized black and white
Yeah.
issues like that, and I loved them. Like I remember there were like Planet of the Apes ones that Marvel did and stuff. But yeah, they're super fun. It's kind of a cool
Also,
nostalgic trip for me.
Yeah.
Also, didn't Kiss do one too? You love Kiss. I know you told me
I
that
love
last time.
this.
Yeah,
I
but
love
didn't they do that same thing with Kiss as well?
They did, yeah.
Oh, that's what I thought.
I,
Okay.
and I've got them all.
I've tried selling Paul. This Paul's never heard of Creepy, and they released probably over 10 years ago, probably like 13 or 14. They started to do the old magazines in hardcover collections, and the art was phenomenal. And I tried to show Paul, which Jim, you know about this, but Paul, I mean, get on this. This is how every issue is. It's an anthology series, and the art's great. It's about six-page short horror stories. But then I just found out, picking up the most recent issue, that they're done. That it's starting. Really? Yeah, it's starting over as, where did I just throw?
Where did you throw?
Launching as it's becoming Shudder. So kind of essentially the same thing. It's just titled different. So I hope that everything else is they keep up the quality of the art and stuff like that. But
that's interesting. Yeah, the artwork is great. I mean, that's, to be honest, the artwork is the main reason to buy these. You know, they're just beautiful to look at.
And I just had seen too a recent is Vampiris Carmilla. Kind of like
I haven't seen that one.
Another series, and it's only issue 3. And I'd like to find the others. So I'm like, oh, it's so, it's so early. I can start from the beginning. But I mean,
interesting.
This art, it's the same, like it's top notch. The paper quality,
same style.
The same, yeah. So
I love it.
It's another like gain for us. So there we go, Paul. So, there's a couple things.
That's great. Well, yeah, and I know, Jim. I mean, obviously from the Atonement Bell, you told me last time you're a horror guy, so this is totally up your alley, Yes. And so, are you a horror guy too, Ryan?
I love horror.
Okay.
I love horror.
Well, you're gonna love his book then already, man. I mean, his book sounds like all up your alley.
I'm super excited about it, man. I did a anthology a few years ago called The Dead Palace, and that took like a higher level look at horror. It was like there was sci-fi horror and folk horror, and all kinds of different styles in there. But The Atonement Bell is a straight up horror book.
Awesome.
And I'm just super excited about it.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, Justin! What are you doing, Justin? Meet my friend Jim. Jim, this is Justin.
Hey Jim, how you doing, man?
Good.
Kickstarting stuff?
Dude. Yeah, The Atonement Bell.
Nice.
We're just about reaching the halfway point of the campaign, and it's going good so far. But you know how it is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
I love kickstarting comics.
Justin, the most random thing. It's good to see you, by the way, brother. The most random thing that I pulled out of my stack that I wanted to show and talk about was the Creeps number 31, and Jim right here, next to me, pulls the exact same thing up. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah,
it's meant to be.
It was
meant to be awesome.
That's
but really no, like it's great because we have a lot of creative people here. I mean, because Justin is an amazing designer himself, Jim, and Justin he created the Batman Book Club podcast logo.
He did that right there.
Oh wow, nice.
He's fantastic. You are a great designer, sir.
Oh,
great work. Great work. And you've been missing in action the last couple of months on your show, right?
I've been kind of MIA in doing these things. I've done a few things like when the schedule is permitted, but like I haven't been as active in the stuff I've been wanting to do. But
right.
I'm jumping back in.
It feels great to have you on the show because I wanted to have you on for a long time. Obviously, this will not be the first time you're on, but as always, we got to talk comics, and I've got some stuff to talk about. But we already got Ryan. Ryan brought his thing up. You missed a great thing from Jim. He brought up his first comic ever was Batman versus his tailor.
Nice.
The Masquerader. Yeah.
Have you ever seen this before, Justin? I haven't.
I don't feel like I've ever seen that cover.
I know.
Yeah,
I'll never forget it now, though.
I love it, though. I love it. I love those crazy covers from like the
70s. They were the best, right? I mean, even if the scene they depicted wasn't in the actual book, it was still great because it gave you a sense of the story.
Yes, exactly. That's what's missing in comics today. Is the covers don't do a better job of giving you an insight into the book itself. Like it's not it's summing up the story or telling you something about the story like that. that picture may not be exactly in the comic book, but it's telling you everything you need to know about the comic in that one picture.
Yeah,
and that
it hooks you in, you know. It's a really cool chorus on a song. You're just like, okay, I gotta get that.
Look, exactly. So here's my problem with covers today. And I might even like gone into this last time. I don't even know. I don't even care anymore. It's my show. Do what I want. No, it's the way I think it is like this. It's like if you're selling a comic book, right, Jim? Right, everybody. Like if you want to sell a comic book, what is the first thing people are going to see?
The cover.
The cover.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta. Why don't you instead of I see people, and again, God bless their heart, man, bless their heart, but they'll have covers. The people are just going like, and and there's nothing to it. It's just like a pose of like, oh, or like, ugh.
I don't know. I mean, watching you do that makes me want that issue.
Okay, here's a great example. Okay, like this is telling me everything I need to know about the comic book. Okay, Rancors and lightsabers.
Rancor, yeah.
Sold. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Blue Flame. I love the series, by the way. But what the hell? Give me something from the story. And like, what's issue 2 is what's selling me on issue 2 then? Let's tell me what the book is going on. A yellow background, so it must be a yellow world that Blue Flame is on because I have no idea what the hell is going on. Why? This is a good story.
I think Justin brought this up about, early comics or, older comics, but the covers were very visceral, it showed you sort of in action in progress as opposed to like a posed modern day movie poster or something, where everything's just kind of static.
One of my favorite comics. So my uncle, he got me in the comics, he had tons of stuff like Avengers #3, and it was ratted up. I'm like, oh my! Like he had stuff, but I remember I would just look at stuff. He's like, look, this is Dr. Octopus's first appearance. But I mean, all these comics are ratted. They're not worth like thousands. They're worth like fives. But there was this issue, and he gave it to me. And it was like the original like Silver Age Barry Allen Flash. It's like issue 190 or something. It's like Flash, and he's on a stretcher, and his foot's like thrashed, right? And the doctor's like, your leg is useless, Flash. You'll never run again. And Barry Allen just like, what the crap? And it was one of those crazy comics. You're like, the Flash is gonna run? And the story is I still remember this story. The story is so bananas. Like Barry Allen puts like these little circuits in his suit, and he controls like a remote version of like the of his Flash suits running and doing stuff. It's kind of funny that he's like, it's basically a ballooned up suit that's running around solving crimes. Anyways, but Barry Allen's he's in a wheelchair too. He's like, he's zipping around. But anyways, like the comic cover was amazing. And like some people do it well now, kind of as an homage to like the old times, but you're freaking right, Paul, because most comic covers suck.
Yeah.
They're more like splash pages and not commercials for like what the heck is in this book. I say the same thing about movie posters. Movie posters have lost all art, and it's all become the same. It's like the same. It's like a churning machine. I love something. I don't know. I'm gonna go off on a tangent.
It's like floating heads. Like
just do it. Just do it.
Now are just the floating head concept where it's like the faces of the actors combined and just there's very little like art,
Oh,
so
shoot.
Hold on. This is a great example, right? Like I love this comic. Like Jeff Johns, my boy, Gray Frank, you can't go wrong. But like what the hell is going on? Like this does not happen, I'm pretty sure, in the story. This has nothing to do with anything.
Boom, I have it.
Yeah, word.
It happened again.
Wait, hold on. I take it back. I think they are in this comic. You know what? I take it back. This is actually a good example of what's actually good.
Yeah.
This actually does happen. So this gives me an example of what's going on. So I take it back. This one, however, I know for a fact is not. It's whatever. So
is that a good series? I haven't read it.
It's great. I read the first 3 issues. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I'm behind a few, but yeah,
I'm behind. But yeah,
not surprisingly, because I don't know. I feel like Jeff Johns is pretty. You're gonna get a pretty solid story, and Gary Frank's art. Woo, man! Like I'll pay it just for no words.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, but no, I would say those if you can give a cover and attract people, that's what's going to, if you're selling comics in like the publishing world and things like that. But to me, the covers need to emulate what's in the story in some way, in a creative way or something. I feel that's honestly, if people want their books to sell, yeah, it's good to have buzz, but you need to create buzz. You need to get them to pick up the book in the first place. So
yeah, that's like one of many variables that has to sort of work together to get a book out there to the masses and break through the noise.
Yeah, no, I love Adam. Adam is my boy. He's one of my friends on the Spidey Dude Experience, where we do our Spider-Man podcast. Adam is great. Cool. Adam is super rad. Adam, I love you. But yeah, Paul? So yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I've actually got to pop off.
All right, my friend, dude.
Because I'm sorry, guys. It's good to see you. I've been up since like 4:30 in the morning. I'm just blitzed.
You're good, man. You're good. I just want to make sure you got a chance to promote your stuff.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
No, seriously, thank you. And I'll get you on soon enough, sir, as long as you'll let me. So
yeah, always. It's fun talking to you guys.
Good to meet you, Jim.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Jim.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Jim.
Bye.
See you, dude. So Jim is awesome. I don't know if you guys knew that. He's pretty rad. So anyway, but yes, so we already had a great stack from my friend here. And I was waiting to do this reveal for Justin. Okay. So yeah, Justin, you probably
got a bunch still here too, Paul. If you run out of it.
Oh no, we're gonna get to you. Don't worry.
I was playing Mario Kart with my family. That sounds
on the
really
Switch.
Dumb. Yes,
no.
But it was like a commitment. They're like, "Hey, we're gonna play games tonight," and I was like, "All right."
That is never dumb. Mario Kart is one of the greatest.
Yeah, dude, you can't deny Mario Kart. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to show you guys, and I'm gonna be really lame about this. So just bear with me. I'm going to add myself in. Why are you taking a picture?
Did you take a picture?
I was sorry.
I thought you were, and I was like,
all right. So anyway, hold on a second. Let me get my cam up here, and I'm going to add myself. Oh my God, that does not sound good. Let me turn this down. Allow, and here we go. There we go.
Oh,
hold on,
dude.
Yeah, hold on now. So,
oh my God.
There it is.
This is why I was trying to do this here. So, as you can see, I've got my spinner rack filled with comics, and here's some great comics you can always I don't know, some of my key issues that I have. Not all of them. I love that Spider-Man comic right there. So good. Now, this Marvel Tales, I just want you guys all to know, I remember buying this at like a bookstore, and it's a Todd McFarlane cover. But look at that Juggernaut. It's amazing. This is such a
I can't see
This is a great cover.
Yeah.
All I see is the trade. All I see is the trade.
Right.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, it's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. And here's my Rocket Raccoon. Sorry.
No, look at you.
Yeah, look at me.
So what does it take to make it to the rack? What does it take to make it to the rack?
Good question.
Me just to take whatever I can. Apparently, this is like Miss Marvel's first appearance. That's what someone told me. I was
the
like,
0.1 stuff.
Yeah, I guess it's something
it might be
one of those technicality things. Anyway, but this is So I'm looking to try to do this all at the same time. This is the spinner rack. Hey, kids comics. So, oh my gosh,
it's a mega chill.
It's a mega chill. Sorry.
Wait, show me that Batman. Show me the Batman on there.
Oh yeah, so it has Batman. Oh, no, yeah. So obviously, we're going to be talking about this eventually. The
oh my gosh. So good. Oh,
Justin's got words.
Yeah. So here's my Batman. Is it the Batman book you were talking about? This one right here.
Which one's this?
Yeah, I saw the 89, and I was just like, wait, you got some Batman on there, don't you?
Yeah, and I've got for instance,
Star Wars.
And then I've got apparently the first Jane Foster Thor is that What If, which I had. I mean, you can't go wrong. Obviously, dude, Mark Grunwald, goodness baby, you can't go wrong with that either. Let's see what else we got around the spinner rack today. Oh yeah. This is classic. This is like the Watchmen of the 90s right here. Night Watch. I don't know if you guys all know Night Watch. I'm totally joking when I say.
I was like,
Watchmen
no.
No, I was totally joking.
Otherwise,
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, that is the spinner rack that I have been inherited. I got for my birthday. Finally, my wife ordered it from the spinner rack on spinnerrack.com, I think what it is.
Yeah.
And anyway, oh God, one second. There we go. Anyway, so she ordered it from the website, and the guy told her that it's going to be basically there was a metal shortage, and he didn't know when they're going to be able to put one out again, and we didn't get it. yeah, exactly.
That's so mega chill.
Yeah, it's mega chill, mega shortage, and I wasn't able to get it till literally last week. So that's how it was, how behind it was. So it was depressing. I didn't get it right away, but it is. I would tell you, it's new. It's not a vintage spinner rack. It's a new spinner rack, but this thing is amazing. I freaking love it.
That's awesome.
It brings the room together. It's like the rug from The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I remember looking at the Kickstarter for that guy. There was two. I was telling you the other day. I was texting you. There was 2 spinner rack things going on at one time. I can't find the other one, but there was a Kickstarter for this dude's like spinner rack situation. I was like, oh man, I want to be a backer, and I was like, I can't. But yeah, man, I've been on the hunt for one for a long time, and I feel like I could have had one at one point, but it was kind of I think the bottom rungs were like bent and rusted. I was like, nah, and now I'm kicking myself. I could have restored that myself,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was just one of those things.
Yeah, it's weird because having it now, it feels right. It feels right for me, so it feels great. So
Love it.
Moving on, we'll move on to Justin here. Justin, do you have anything you want to share? Anything about comic book wise before I get back to Brian?
Anything comic book wise? Oh my gosh. You know what? I'll be honest. I've been kind of not in a rut because I read comics all the time, but I feel like I just haven't been excited about anything in comics right now, except for like Nightwing. Nightwing, I just want to read it.
Yeah.
And the last thing I was excited about super bummed me out, and not in a sense of like, oh, I'm kicking rocks and I'm Spider-Man no more style, but just like I was just, I'm just gonna say, I don't know. I felt like you were gonna allude to it, but I was really, really hyped for Batman '89, and I did not like it. I was actually really like, and I feel like we got that little bit of that preview, and I know that I think the covers are gorgeous, man. The covers are freaking gorgeous.
I just found this one the other day, not even really looking for it, and I was like,
great.
Okay, I've got to do this. Go ahead.
Yeah,
sorry.
Nightwing. I think, man, Adam, I would say Nightwing. I can't even say it's pretty good. I feel like it's excellent. I feel like it's an excellent comic, and if you're not reading it,
so many people are telling me that. I haven't jumped on yet. I
highly recommend it, man. I'm pretty picky, man, too. Like when I read stuff, like, if it's not snapping, then I'm not yapping, Like give me
snapping.
If it's not making me like, oh man, I can't wait. Like Daredevil, I'm there. Like Nightwing, I'm there. Like honestly, I would say another book I would say you should be reading from DC is it's the Bendis stuff. So Bendis kind of created some stuff, not so great Superman, but he did that whole Leviathan, Rises thing, and now he's doing the is it Checkmate? I can't even think of the name of the book right now. Checkmate, and it's awesome. I love it. It's him and freaking
Checkmate. Isn't that the guy? Isn't like a government superhero?
Yeah, I may have the name. Like I may have the name wrong because I think Checkmate's in it. Like that's how I just go straight to him. Like, yeah, and he's doing it with homeboy. He was doing Alex Maleev, who did Daredevil with him. And
wait, Alex Maleev is doing it?
Yeah, bro. It's such a great book. It's like Green Arrow's on the team and Mr. Bones, and there's just it's a spinoff of the whole Leviathan Rises thing that he did, and it was
is it new or is it brand new or is it like been out for a while?
It's like 3 issues in now. I think the newest one came out. I forget.
Because Alex Maleev is doing the Suicide Squad thing with Azzarello.
Yeah. Oh, bro, that was a freaking great book. Yeah, Checkmate.
I know.
Checkmate 3 came out. I think it comes out today. It came out today, and it's a great book, man. I love it,
me, man. You're
the art's great. I think Bendis. Yeah, and Bendis is, I think his Superman,
I don't hate Bendis.
It just wasn't the right lane for him. I think he's great at a group of characters. He had that Batman story in Detective 1027, which was phenomenal. It was like, yo, he writes a good group of characters. There you go. And
dude, this is such a great book, man. It's so freaking good.
Oh, the Suicide
so
Squad.
Good.
Get the Joker thing.
Yeah.
I read it on accident too, because we were going to do a review of the Suicide Squad issues that Taylor did, and I think I still had COVID brain fog. I read Get Joker, and I was like, this book is awesome. I was so into it, man.
It's so good.
That's what we're supposed to read, but
but you know what? Like the regular cover is so bad.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you get it's horrendous.
Yeah.
See, this is a great example of what a cover could do, and like it tells you everything you need about the story. Yeah. And the original cover, the regular cover, is so garbage. It's like, why? How?
Yeah. Well, that cover, it kind of alludes to what you were saying earlier. It's kind of like the cover's a little bit more indicative of the art inside too. Whereas why is the variant cover matching the interior art? And the main cover is just it's bad. It's ugly.
I don't even mind if it's the same artist, but like I don't know, man.
It's
weird. Marketing, yo, figure it out.
But just read it by accident. We're gonna lose our preview issues.
Well, I was watching. I'm not sure if you guys ever watched the YouTube guy Perch. I'm a big fan of Perch, and I don't agree with everything he says, obviously, but he's smart, and he had said something about Nightwing. I thought was really interesting. He said that Nightwing shows you that you don't have to worry about the numbering to make to sell a book, to have that's, and I was like, yeah, exactly. Like Tom Taylor's Nightwing's getting huge buzz, and I think it's selling well too. So it really shows you that people don't care about numbers. It's about people want to read good stories. And if
try jumping into Amazing Spider-Man, you're gonna lose your mind trying to buy a back issue, because there's been 4 versions of Amazing Spider-Man in the last 3 years. Like, oh yeah, get issue 20, and you're gonna like, wait. Sorry, that's not wrong. I hate Spider-Man's the worst offender of legacy.
It is.
Anyway, sorry.
No. I get it.
Mega chilling right now. Mega chilling.
This is mega chilling.
I have mega chill right now, bro.
No, you got chill. This is chilling. This is straight chilling, man.
This is soapbox.
No. Well, so with that, I do need to give that Nightwing series a taste, because I don't like love Tom Taylor, but mainly because I don't have read a ton of his stuff. What I've read, I thought it was okay. I don't think it's been bad. It's not great, but the art and the storytelling they've done with the panels and things like that to me has been really interesting. The way they've been a good team. It seems like the artist and the writer. So
the Injustice stuff, I loved his Injustice stuff.
People keep talking about it, and I'm just like, Injustice never did anything for me. But that's the thing that Clow always said, it was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
what he did well was, like, I get the whole I'm played out on the evil Superman nonsense, right? But what I loved about Injustice, he did add some really cool character things that I was like, ooh, I like what he did with Harley Quinn and Green Arrow. I like her making fun. Like there was a back and forth with them. I don't know what the heck issue it was. Maybe it was an annual. Someone correct me out there in comic land. What, I'm pretty picky understatement.
That's talking about you.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Ryan, who's not picky. Ryan, who has no sense of holding back. Every copy of Catwoman, homeboy has it. The movie.
It's true. The movie,
Halle Berry. So yeah, I restraint is something I do have. Ryan, look it up. Kiss. So there's a scene with Harley Quinn and Green Arrow, and she's making fun of the fact that he has an arrow cave, blah 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 blah, and she's basically calling him a knockoff Batman. And she's like, "Why don't you call your place the Quiver?" And he's like, "What? Oh, that's not a bad idea." Like, I just love that he gets to the core of who the characters are, even though it's like this alternative world, but he had the ability to not really play it safe. And he got to do fun stuff. And I think it continued to show, oh, this guy, DC kept giving him these options and opportunities to do alternate worlds. Cause then he did Deceased,
right.
You guys ever read Deceased?
No, but I read Earth 2, which me and Clow will do eventually for for the binge here. But yeah, that I did read that, and that was good too. I thought that was solid.
So I think like Bendis, he's really good with characters. Everyone has a voice, I feel like, with Taylor. So I haven't really been disappointed with him, except I didn't like New Superman, John Superman.
He did a 3-issue Black Label series with Constantine, Hellblazer, Rise and Fall, and I thought that was pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know
I didn't read that.
I don't really know much about Constantine. I haven't read much Constantine, but I was able to jump right in a 3-issue story, and I wasn't out of the loop on anything. I thought it was pretty clear. It was good. So track that down.
Yeah, he's got a good voice for Constantine. Like he writes him well. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Lee Bermeo did the first the variant cover for the first issue too.
Oh yeah. So all right. So Ryan, what else do you have for us? For a big stack of stuff. Give me some more stuff.
Well, let's dig into some single issues because Justin said DC that he's not reading, so I'm going to try and sell him on some stuff.
Which is majority.
Sell me, bro. Sell me.
The Joker puzzle box first issue just started.
I haven't picked that up.
First
who
5.
Who's writer?
Rosenberg.
I love
solid.
Rosenberg.
Rosenberg's solid. He's super solid.
His Hawkeye Freefall, freaking. I was hyped about Hawkeye. I loved it.
It's a pretty cool. It's kind of a retelling. Joker's an interrogation with Gordon and Bullock in GCPD, and he's kind of going through the events, and you're not really understanding what the event is, and it starts to unfold by issue's end. And I'm not going to tell you what it is that happened, but it leaves on a pretty cool. And I think it's supposed to be almost like a different perspective. Each issue, I think, from like a different villain, and you get all of Batman's villains in this, and it's a pretty cool story.
All right, what else?
Introductory. The most recent Legends of the Dark Knight title.
Oh man, I need to read that. Because Red Hood's all in it, man.
No, not yet.
Are you thinking of Gotham?
Urban Legends?
Urban Legends. Yeah, which Urban Legends? There's that story is really really good. But this is recently kicked off, and anybody that knows the original iteration of the Legends of the Dark Knight title spun so many damn good stories. And the first,
you can hear about those stories on the Batman Book Club.
On the Batman Book Club, and
yes,
this one kicked off with a 3-issue arc that was really really good, written and illustrated by I think Derek Robertson, I think is his name. I hadn't heard of him before, but I'll follow him now. Art was great. The story was really, really cool. And then actually the most recent issue is number 4. It's just a one-off with Stephanie Phillips. And it's got Pete Vera's, shout out to Pete Vera, his boy Oswald rocking. I haven't read this one yet. I'm very excited.
Now all those are available on DC Infinite, right?
Not yet.
No, they're on there now. I'm pretty sure.
The Joker, I know the Joker book is for sure.
Yeah, there's a bunch of that stuff on there.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Check them out on DC Universe.
Infinite. That's pretty good. I like that. No, that's great. What else you got?
Sorry, I brought a stack.
No, you're good.
You said
please.
And I said, Paul, I'm bringing it.
I know. I need to get this.
Have you tried it yet?
I have read that and I thought it was excellent. And it's funny because I'm not a big Christopher Reeve Superman fan. I'm like, I get it, but I'm like, he's kind of a wiener. But that book.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. Sorry, where's Cloud? He's not here.
Mega chill.
Mega chilling.
Here's what my critique in my objective like intake of that book was, man, this felt like a continuation of that world where Batman 89 felt like, nah, bro, you guys missed the complete boat.
100%. Yeah, this felt definitely like, we're back in Superman 78 world, and 89 didn't necessarily feel that way.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are harsh, man. Harsh.
Hey, man, I take comics seriously.
Wow.
You may have a spinner rack, but
yeah. But your spinner rack doesn't mean to have good opinions.
No. I just dropped my skateboard.
So no Wolverine skateboard. No, listen. 89 is it is a little bit more of a. Honestly, it feels more like not a continuation of the world, but like of the story. If that makes any sense, the world doesn't really feel like 89, but the story does. If that makes any sense,
I don't know.
I don't know.
It made some.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We can. I mean, if you want to chat about it, I'm down because
we don't have. I don't want to waste that time on that. We'll get to that eventually someday.
I liked it more than Justin, but less than you did, Paul. I'll say that much.
I would say that's probably accurate. I think I liked it a little more than you did.
And then, like,
I really enjoyed it.
I just jumped on this. New
Shazam,
Shazam 4-issue miniseries written by our pal Tim Sheridan, aka the writer of the Long Halloween Parts 1 and 2 movies, aka a guy who supports Justin Kowalski's art because he bought a Batman Book Club t-shirt and wore it in an interview when I interviewed him. So no big deal. But
very nice,
pretty cool.
Tim.
Halfway through this, and yeah, this is a cool story. And I think this does what you guys were talking about earlier of like that. Look at the cover is it's not static. Sorry, it's shining. Let's see. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Pull that mother out.
It looks like action is actually happening.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. Like give me something.
That's really cool. It's not just him standing or anything, you know. And so
yeah, or him drinking a Slurpee.
That ugly Teen Titans logo. Sorry, I hate that logo, dude. I'm such a turd, man.
That's what I have for
negative stream.
Negative stream.
Negative stream.
And really quickly, speaking of Shazam, I rewatched that last week. It's such a great movie, man.
It's so great. It is.
It is so good. It's gonna already has aged so well, and it's already. I think it's gonna be one of those that will get better over the years and be loved. So really quick, so I'm curious now, Justin. I know you're old school like me, homie. No offense, Ryan, but maybe you know this. Maybe you don't. They're a little bit of a young buck, younger than me and him, that's for sure.
Okay.
But I'm gonna throw something on the wall here, okay?
Yeah.
And Justin, I want you to know. I wanted to see if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, you ready?
Okay,
ready for this?
I'm here, bro.
Okay, back in the day when we were collecting comics, back when we were in middle school, or you're a couple years older than me, but we're close to the same age, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but when you're in school and you're buying comics and whatever, going to the comic store and everyone's buying comics, you know, trying to put their kids through college, whatever. And this new universe pops up, and you're like, "What is this?" Did you ever read, my friend?
Oh gosh,
any Ultraverse comic books?
Yes, I read Prime because it was Breyfogle, bro.
Yes, baby, Norm Breyfogle for the win.
Yeah.
Oh,
because that was kind of the Shazam of the Ultraverse.
Yeah.
And so, I read a few. Just Ultra Force 2, and I think, but to be honest, some of them I got like in grab bags because they weren't selling at the comics.
Right. No, dude, we'll have to have.
It was Malibu, right? Wasn't it a Malibu imprint?
It was a Malibu imprint, Malibu imprint that turned it its own and shared in a cohesive universe, and they were trying to market, have it basically be a franchise, like not just like a comic books. Yeah, cartoon. It had toys. It had trading cards. It was a real, and then Marvel came in and bought it out. But
you know why?
And again, because of the computer coloring.
That's right, bro.
It's so crazy.
We're nerds.
Dude,
hey guys.
Dude, I know this stuff, man. But the Ultraverse is super, super interesting. What's crazy is that they haven't brought it back and there's been many reasons why you could, and again, it's a whole different show. I wish like I could do a show and like more than 10 people would watch it on the Ultraverse, because if I knew that, I know you would, but I mean, like, I would love to have a big, deep discussion about it, because I think it's fascinating. And I went to Ancient Comics in Pacific Northwest, fantastic place. I went and spent an hour, almost 2 hours going through quarter bins, and I picked up a bunch of books I needed from the Ultraverse stuff, because this is all quarter bin stuff. You can get this anywhere at the quarter bins. And I finished and picked up a Strangers. I think I had the first 13 issues, and I have missed, or 14 issues. I'm missing like a few of, but yeah, the premise is really rad. Now, this is literally Steve Englehart, by the way, a comic book legend, right? He created this. Yeah, this is about a group of people on like I think a bus or something. It's like, but like all a bunch of random people all of a sudden get superpowers. Yeah, together, and they all they call them the Strangers. Why they call them the Strangers? And they all have to figure out why they all have superpowers. It's super. I'm like, that's a really cool concept.
Yeah, it's really.
And I'm really excited. Yeah, so I'm really excited to deep dive into this thing, man. It's gonna be rad. But
that's actually, man. I wish are they available like on like Comixology or anything?
Nope.
I remember someone was trying to bring it back in 03 and Joe Quesada was like, can't happen. It's the deal was so stupid.
Well,
there was a Nightman show. Remember the TV show Nightman?
Yeah, Nightman. There was Nightman. So if you get anyone knows who we're talking about, like legitimate. No. But seriously,
Ryan Lauer's crying. Why?
He's like, why? Oh, no. But like, listen, the Ultraverse is such a unique thing, and it really is. Prime is really good. The only problem is, I'm not even going to say it on the show, but it's co-written and co-created by Gerald Jones.
Yeah.
If you know who that is, that's also a problem. Yeah, it's also a problem.
Yeah.
But what I don't like, and again, I'm not going to get into what he did and all that because it's disgusting and gross, and he's an awful human being.
Yeah.
The thing I'm going to say is he wasn't the only one who worked on the property, and he wasn't the only one who created it. And I really do wish that that Marvel would do something with these characters, because Prime, I think, is a, no pun intended, a prime candidate to be a selling commodity. And these characters are interesting. And I honestly think they could do some interesting things with these characters in their own universe and maybe develop some talent, maybe meaning like writers and artists, and maybe try some things out and use these characters and make them digital only or something. But, like Prime. Yeah. And with Prime, you think about this. He was created by, first of all, a number of people. He was co-written by Gerald Jones and Len Krasinski, whatever his name is. He also wrote Iron Man and things like that, Captain America. So it wasn't like he was just one guy who wrote the whole story. It's like other people. Norm Breyfogle, has a big, reason why Prime was a, more popular character.
Yeah.
There's reasons why these characters are big. I mean, Ultraforce was also drawn by George Perez.
That's right. You're right.
So there's
talent on there, man.
They weren't doing bad. And there's a podcast. I'm gonna try to get those guys on the show one day. They have no idea who I am. They're probably like, whatever. But it's an Ultraforce monthly podcast, and they're breaking everything down, man. Dude, it's rad. They're hilarious too. No, go. I forgot what it's called. I feel bad saying that now.
I might. Never mind. I think I'm getting.
No, go for it. Go.
I was gonna say, wasn't there a crossover with another? But I think that was.
There was
no. I mean, I'm thinking maybe that was Image and Valiant. What was
Deathmate?
Deathmate.
Deathmate. Yeah, Deathmate was Image, and
okay, so it wasn't Ultraverse.
no, but the Ultraverse had. But they had, when they were bought by Marvel tried to incorporate them. The Black Knight showed up in the Exiles, and or Juggernaut was in the Exiles. And then Black Knight was in Ultraforce at one point.
They had the Phoenix Resurrection thing.
Yeah, Phoenix Resurrection. So it's a crazy thing, man. It's super nuts. But I will say the books are fun. And if you want cheap books to go out to have fun and collect things, go out and get the Ultraverse stuff. There's tons of great stories, like Mantra. Like, check it out. It's like super booby. Okay, so just if scantily clad women
on the mega chill.
Right. And I don't mean that to be like, I'm being serious. It's super cleavagey and whatever, 90s, right? But the premise is really
10 book in Wizard magazine.
No, it was not. But
Mantra, I feel like Mantra was.
No, it wasn't. No. But Mantra is a really interesting premise. So again, another interesting premise. A warrior who gets reincarnated, like a man warrior gets reincarnated as a woman.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, huh. Like, that's kind of interesting. Okay. Like, I mean, just really, really really interesting premises. I'm like, these are really cool ideas. Like, again, the whole Prime is a Shazam kind of knockoff, but it takes it into a different level. Like, it's like basically take government secret agent or government run facility with Superman and Shazam, mush it together, you get Prime. It's super cool. Super cool. So I'm excited about that to read those. I read the first 7 issues of Prime, super solid. I like it. I can't wait to get into Strangers. So also check this out. So about this, George Perez, obviously, at Half Price Books last Sunday, right? And I was showing my wife, like, dude, George Perez he's so phenomenal, dude. Like hold on, I'm gonna find this one picture. The layout is just ridiculous. Well, first of all, like this is ridiculous. Like how, like what where are like comic artists? Where are you? Like, take notes. Like, seriously. Like, this is
I love his Ares design. I wish that we had that in the movie. Like that, just a blue armor would it look so
to the left there. Come on.
Yeah.
Like how this guy gets it. Like I mean, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But here's what's really interesting. So I bought the book, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was thinking about, should I buy this book or not? It was like, $12, pretty solid, solid for this kind of thing. Someone wrote a letter to their mom, and it was in there. No, seriously, it's depressing, dude. And I was like,
oh no.
I straight up was like, I'm like, well, I'm not reading it out loud, but I was like, yo, this is like, I love stuff like this. I'm like, I have to get this. So I bought it just because Perez, but I'm like, the letter was just, gotta buy it, kept it. Was
it like, Mom, you've been a Wonder Woman to me?
Well, not really, but
no, you don't have to get into it. I'm
no. But what's crazy? No, honestly, but what's crazy is me and my wife were like, well, did he get it for his mom? And then like, why is it in? And we started doing almost like, it was crazy, man. Like, why is it in this Wonder Woman book? Like, did he buy it for his mom? Like, I don't know. It's crazy. So super rad. But dude, I can't wait to get into this. I love George Perez. So I mean, and the last thing I'll show is. I should show this thing too, but
I just want to touch all of your hardcovers out back there. I just want to put my finger across the back of them.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you did. This bad boy,
the Black
Jeff Lemire. Oh my gosh, I read the first arc, and this is I got this for like super cheap too.
Really?
This is normally like what, $50. I got this for $30.
Oh,
so I mean, like, dude, go online, man. I'm telling you, I shouldn't even tell those people this. Go online. You're gonna get some good deals if you hunt. Gotta hunt. This thing, I love the first arc. I read it. I loved it, and I didn't want to read anymore because I wanted to go buy the books and have them physically to like, whatever, read. I can't wait to get it. This is a huge world. If you have not read any of this stuff, this is another like whole universe of stuff. Yeah. And Jeff Lemire is just criminally underrated. I know he's huge, but I feel like no one talks about him enough. Like
I feel like he's got like 3 books that come out every freaking month.
Right. But no one talks about it though. Like no one really,
I feel like plug Let's Go reviews his books all the time. Mr. Emmett Davis is a huge Jeff Lemire fan. We just finished up his Ascension or Ascender book.
Descender.
Descender and Ascender.
Right? Yeah, he did. Sweet
Tooth. Gideon Falls is amazing.
Oh yeah, Gideon Falls is great. It was a great book.
Phenomenal.
Him and Andrea Sorrentino. Series. That's a great book. If you haven't picked that up, it's probably collected now, or it's about to be collected.
It just ended. I think the series just ended now, and that series is by far, again, another great series. Great comics, man. Like just like that's a writer who gets it, you know. And I love it. I love his stuff. So Justin, do you have anything you want to add for to show anything? Anything else, man?
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, I wish I can get to. I had to pack up all my stuff lately, so that I'm literally in the garage now. I threw a table up.
In the garage.
I'm in the garage. I feel safe.
I
feel safe.
No one wants more.
So I do have like every box I've had as a kid behind me here. Like this is
wow.
Even like I have drawings that I made when I was like probably 13.
Awesome.
That's rad, dude.
Like there's like I don't know. I have a Superman face I drew. Anyways, but sorry you couldn't hear me. The mic was off. Yeah, I haven't.
It's all good.
I haven't really. I have a bag I need to pick up at the I have a bag I need to pick up at my comic shop called Quest. Plug. So I need to go take care of that. But I mean, most of the comics I've been reading lately have been like digitally anyways, and it sucks. I prefer like that smell, but I feel
smell them floppies,
but I
blame you for calling them floppies, by the way. I say floppies all the time now because
but that's always been a thing. Like, you pick up your
You're right. But
it's just a fun. It's fun. I've been reading Immortal Hulk, Daredevil. That's the only Marvel books I've really been reading.
I just read Immortal Hulk, the first 10 issues.
Oh my gosh,
for the first phenomenal. Isn't it great?
It's so good. You know what? But I would recommend. I went back and I'm trying to finish up Beta Ray Bill because that's a really great story.
That is great. I need to finish that too, but that is great. The art is phenomenal.
Oh gosh, he's so like some people don't like him, and I can't think of his name right now. Freaking
Johnson, something.
Daniel Warren Johnson. And let me tell you this: he in Superman Red and Blue I think he had a story in issue 5, and it's a Father's Day heartbreaker. It's a story you should read every Father's Day, and it'll just give you like the feels. I wanted to say Superman Red and Blue, one of the best anthologies that came out. And I actually that's one of the things that I've loved during like, this pandemic time and stuff. One of my favorite things to read have been these, and Marvel and DC have both been doing them, and they're pretty incredible. And I want to buy every collection except Batman. Actually, not as great. The Batman Black and White they've had like 3 volumes. I think this was the 3rd volume, and they haven't been amazing. 5 volumes.
5. Damn.
5 issues or 5 separate volumes.
5 volumes. Because the first one came out like in the late 90s. I have the first 2 volumes.
Yeah. So like then they did another one on when they were going digital, and then
it's like 2014 was like the 4th volume, and then this was
really?
Yeah.
But so Superman though, excellent. There's been maybe out of the whole thing, there was probably like 2 kind of stinker stories, but overall, pretty freaking great. Anyway, so Daniel Warren Johnson, who I freaking love, and I want to shout out my buddy DeLon, who turned me on to him because of Murder Falcon. I was like, what the heck's did you ever read Murder Falcon?
I've heard of it for sure. He's a musician, right?
He's like a musician, and it's freaking bananas comics, man. And I read that thing. I was like, what? And he's like, oh, DeLon was like, dude, you like music and you like, punk and you like metal and you like freaking rad comics. So you're going to love this. And I bought it, and it is phenomenal. He has a playlist on Spotify to go with it. I got to send it to you, Paul. I'll send you some versions, but if you want them, Ryan, I'll send them to you as well. I don't know, like if you're going to be into this, but Daniel Warren Johnson, love that guy. And then his Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Oh, things.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I want to see that movie. Or they should make an anime out of it, maybe.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I Dead Earth was I love his art. That story with Wonder Woman, it just didn't really interest me. I'm like, it seemed like 2 things that didn't really go together. I know people really liked it, but it just didn't grab me personally. But though his Beta Ray Bill though has been pretty fun, and
I love it.
Yeah, it's super good.
He captures every emotion so well. Like he's such a good storyteller. So he's one of those, like if you're talking about Jeff Lemire and stuff, I would say he's in this new wave of just like guys who just gets comics, man. Like he gets comics and he gets how to tell a story. So I wanted to shout that out because that was actually Beta Ray Bill's good, but it reminded me of the Superman story. And I actually put on Twitter, hey man, love it. And he liked it. So if that means anything, Look, I was trying to get into the new Milestone stuff. I just haven't loved it. I feel like it feels like a rush job to me. And I'm like, I need to get. So
I need to read that stuff again. That's 90s, like kind of in that same Ultraverse kind of vein, like where it's just it's kind of was doing its own thing, and I feel that they're
great. It was great.
Yeah,
like Icon Hardware. I'm like, DC's snoozing on adapting a lot of that stuff, and they're sitting on a gold mine because there's some really good stories there.
Well, they were snoozing on all those characters for so long. Why weren't they keep printing some comics out there with these characters? I mean, like
I think a lot of it was rights. Maybe there could have been some rights because it's not outright owned by DC, and so I don't know what the deal is. Someone smarter than me knows, but some good characters, and I think they're missing the magic of it. That's what it feels like by reading the stuff that
Dwayne Duffy or not Dwayne McDuffie, is that what his name? Might be it. I mean, let's be real.
Maybe it is. I don't know because his fingerprints are there.
He's a great writer.
Missing
that dude. Yeah, that guy could. People don't realize how much he did, like how much he wrote and how many great stories. He came up with Damage Control. I mean, he has done so much and super smart guy. He wrote that Fantastic Four with Black Panther and Storm and Thing and a Human Torch, which again wasn't the best Fantastic Four comics, but they were pretty good. They're pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. He's done so much before he passed away. Way too young. Such a great writer. To me, I wanted to ask you this because I know you're a big Cates guy, and I'm not anti or pro. I'm kind of I don't know. It's weird.
You're on the fence.
I'm not even on the fence.
You're on the gate. You're on the gate.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not even on the gate, man. It's just weird because I like some of the stuff he does, but then I'm like his Hulk stuff. Everyone was saying like you guys were like, oh, blah blah blah. I could give it a chance, and it's Cates. He did great. I'm not feeling his premise, man. I'm not feeling the premise. It feels.
What's the premise? Can you tell me the premise? Because I haven't really investigated any of it.
Okay,
yet.
so
I'm eager because I like Otley and I like him. So
Otley's the only reason why I'd ever read this book because
yeah.
his artwork is fantastic. But okay, so as a free comic book day, I read that, and so you're following up Immortal Hulk, which I think is some of the best Marvel comics written in 30 years.
Best Hulk
which is
since
ever. Maybe since Peter David.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it might even be better than that.
Yeah.
Honestly, straight up.
Wow.
So anyway, so you're following up that, which is like, I don't care who you are, that's almost impossible. But it's Hulk, basically, it's like basically Planet Hulk, different dimensions. It's basically what it is.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I saw the first cover is like Barbarian Hulk punching Hulkbuster Iron Man, and I was like, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, I would have retired Hulk for a good couple years because how can you follow up that legend? I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm
right.
sorry. I mean, Venom. I mean, I don't hold Venom as high. I mean, I haven't read all of it. I've read some of it. I think it's okay. It's not bad.
Wow.
Like, I don't think it's like groundbreaking like Immortal Hulk is. I think Immortal Hulk I think Immortal Hulk will stand the test of time, and it will not age. I think Venom will age.
Really?
It will be bad. Oh, for sure, dude. Because Venom is all. Venom's like, symbiotes and blah 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 and all these events, and Immortal Hulk is so self-contained in its own thing that you just sit down and read Immortal Hulk and you don't have to know anything.
Man.
And you in my opinion, you have to know a lot with Venom.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Like with Hulk, like I like Hulk. You know, he's my guy. I loved Indestructible Hulk. I love that series. Like I'm just like, I really liked it. I had a good time with it, man.
Is that Silvestri?
I forget.
With Jason Aaron, Indestructible. Yeah, Indestructible Hulk was either Wade and you or Silvestri.
Yeah. It was you. It was Wade and you.
Okay. You arts.
Ryan, sorry, man. We'll talk about
I was gonna
that.
say, how pathetic do I seem that I don't think I said anything for 7
Yeah,
minutes.
but you said you're about to check out Immortal Hulk. So like continue.
No, you're right.
Continue. Yeah.
You're right.
It's freaking banana, and the artwork is so good. But I would say, man, this Venom run, I'm a guy who's like, I like Venom, but I like the idea of Venom. But I'm like, I don't want to read a book about Venom because they've done a lot of like, Agent Venom and all that stuff. So I'm like, whatever.
I love Agent Venom.
And then Jay Oz was talking about this freaking book on his old show when he was on the old show he had going, right? Sorry for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the show right now. But gosh, sorry, Jay. I love you, man.
We love you, Jay.
Yeah, Comic Pause though. That's where he's at right now.
Comics Now.
Not Pause. Oh wait, Comics Now. It was Comics Now. And they talked about this Venom book all the time. I'm like, all right, man, I trust you guys. And so I always meant to get it and I didn't pick it up. But then my buddy Mike Terrell, shout out to Mike Terrell. He's a Venom fan. Like, dude, he was so hyped for the movie. And I was like, oh, bro, I feel like your heart's going to get broken. And it did, But he was like, bro. And he got me sold on freaking Venom. He got me hyped for, was it Absolute Carnage or whatever? I don't know.
Absolute Carnage. That's how I learned about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, let me see. And he gave me his issues like, bro. Like, and he was so in. He was buying variant covers because they look dope. And I'm like, this is freaking excellent. And Ryan Stegman's art, and I was just like,
Stegman's great.
And I'm like, I'm missing out because I love dude. I'm one of those guys that like Dr. Octopus as Spider-Man. I thought it was a fun story because I didn't. Yeah, it was. I love it. I knew it wasn't gonna last, but I had a good time with it. I'm like, dude, this is freaking how maniacal is Dr. Octopus. I'm a better Spider-Man. Thwip, I'll do it my way. But Stegman's art on there. Anyways, check all these things. Anything that I say, just read it. But
yeah, just read it.
So a selling point right there. Anything
but it brought me into that Venom story, and I was like, whoa, I care about Eddie Brock. I care about his son. I'm loving this take on Venom. I'm bought in, dude. I'm like bought in to this story. And I never in a freaking million years. It's like me reading Hawkeye comics and loving Hawkeye. Never in a million years would I be like, dude, I'm bought in. I'm bought into Venom. Because I'm not a Venom. It's like when Rosenberg started doing Punisher. I'm not a Punisher guy.
That was a great series. Underrated.
Yeah,
and underrated.
I was just curious, like, why does Punisher have a War Machine costume? That's freaking hilarious. And everyone was like, that's terrible. You shouldn't do that. It's disrespectful to James
fights
Brody.
Baron Zemo.
Yeah, dude, it was so good.
That was
man.
so rad.
Yeah,
so rad.
Yes, like I've been giving Marvel a chance on their these new blood of writers. I'm like, all right, show me. And they're like going bananas. And I'm like, Rosenberg needs to be on Spider-Man. I don't think he 100%
he's doing
got it all.
He's gotten a couple of side issues. Yeah, he has got a couple of issues.
Anyways,
so but we got Ryan, man.
Hey,
hold on,
hey,
Ryan.
Ryan,
wow, we're getting called out.
Mega chill.
Yeah, we're just chilling, man.
Did we
You
get called
gotta
out?
chill.
Who called
Yeah,
us out?
he's calling us out. He's calling us out. So, all right. So you read Immortal Hulk. What's your take on it then?
Well, that was good. I agree with you in the fact of I know of the Hulk character, and I've seen, I mean, there's 2 solo Hulk movies and watched those and stuff, but I'm not as familiar with comics and such. So I was able to hop in without any knowledge, and I wasn't lost. 10 issues. I read them in a breeze. Checked it out through the Hoopla app, greatest app in the history of mankind. Yeah, it's good, and I can continue. They've got everything available, so I can keep reading it too.
Yeah.
So
No, that honestly is one of the reasons why I think I started buying physical books, because I read that digitally from the very start, and then I'm like, man, this is so good. I need to get this like physically so I can be like, yeah.
I thought about it as soon as it started, because I was like, well, that's a pretty cool Alex Ross cover, but I don't need
everyone is beautiful.
Only to know that, like, oh, he's doing so many covers. Damn it.
Yeah. One of them sold out, and there's one, I think it's issue 3 is the one I don't have. It's a freaking like variant. I was like, son of a
yeah. Dude, Immortal Hulk, it's gonna go down as an all-timer. It really is, so
just like Venom.
No, dude, there's no way. But here's the thing. I like Al Ewing, like the fact they switched the right. I just think it's weird. I'm like, I mean, but Ram V's helping him. So I mean, I feel it's more like a Ram V. Like, hey Al, why don't you help shepherd Ram V into this? Which Ram V doesn't need any shepherding. He's a great writer. So I don't.
Yeah, dude, he's got some heat on him, bro.
Dude, he's good. He's dude. What the frick is it called? Seven Shores. Read it. It's phenomenal.
What's Seven Shores? What's that?
I think it's Seven Shores. God, I think that's what it's called.
Is it like an image book or
no? It's an independent vault book, and it's a trade. The art is beautiful. The story is really interesting. Just know it's kind of Victorian era like stuff.
Oh, it's like
you'll be into it. But it's fantastic.
Well, see, I'm not into that type of stuff.
These Savage Shores.
Savage Shores. These Savage Shores. Yeah, thank you. Seven Shores, whatever it is. These Savage Shores. Fantastic. What do I know? So anyway, is there what? So how about this, Ryan? I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
What are you wanting to read right now?
Oh.
Like, what's out there that you're like you haven't? You're like, man, I'm kicking myself in the butt. And you haven't started reading. What's up, Spencer?
This is really
I like that random.
What's up, Spencer?
Yo, Spencer, what's going on?
Hey, check in with some other people while I think about this, Paul.
Well, no. Well, about you, Justin? Is there anything out there?
Okay, I got you.
No, don't ask me more questions.
I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
2 that I wanted to follow, and I just got behind. I'm just waiting for the collections. Are all Tom King and Strange Adventures and Rorschach. I want to read. I want to read both of those. Yeah. I started with both, and then I just got behind.
Same here. Yeah, same here. I want to wait. I wanted to wait for Rorschach because I'm like,
November it's coming out collected.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. I have all the other Watchmen stuff. But anyway, what was the other one? Strange Adventures.
Strange Adventures. Yeah.
Oh, that's a freaking great book.
Man, so you guys are on the Tom King side. You're not the anti-Tom King people.
I like Tom King.
I think his Batman was one of the greatest Batman runs of all time.
So crazy.
And
so many
people hate it, and I'm like, all right. Whatever.
Tom King is the Zack Snyder of the comics.
No, not even.
Somebody says Tom King, and people just from both sides just come out and
it's polarizing.
It is, and I don't understand. It's like, okay, you do like him or you don't, and that's okay. And
I think
he's outspoken. That's a problem. I mean, not problem. That's what he is. He's just outspoken, and people don't like that.
Let me tell you, like when he came on in Rebirth, I was like, oh, I'm excited because I liked his Nightwing stuff. I liked his Nightwing run. And And I heard a lot of stuff about Vision, but I never read it until I was
Vision's
in love.
incredible.
It is incredible. Now I'm like, I recommend it to so many people.
I waited and got that last year. Whatever the deluxe edition version of that.
I need a physical
that way,
version.
You're not wrong.
I need a physical. I
loved it.
I got this $5 300-page version of it on Marvel Comics online one time. I don't know, whatever.
It was 99 cents once on Amazon. I remember
need it.
for whatever reason, because he tweeted that out of like, hey,
Yeah.
for some reason, this entire series is 99 cents. I'm
Yeah,
like,
go-
sure,
Yeah.
okay.
And
And
that's
bought the
an,
deluxe.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
issue 1 of that Batman comic is such an emotional, like,
yeah.
I was on, like, he's like, hey, Alfred, did my parents love me? Were they proud of me? And freaking, by the way, Batman's taking an airplane down, like, and they're answering all the questions why Superman, people can't do this. And then it even runs into that hokey Gotham girl and Gotham guy.
I like
the
that.
Well,
I
liked it too, but in my brain and the promo art and stuff, I'm like, who the crap is these guys? This is stupid. And then it makes sense. And Tom King if you read that thing, if you binge read that series, you'll probably like it more because there was a lot of poetry and prose and stuff and how he approached it. And I get it. There was like, I'm going to break your damn back, like for a whole issue with Bane. And I'm like, I get it though. When you read it, it's like Batman's like on his mission and he's like, I'm going to break your damn back.
The most underrated arc of his entire run was the Rules of Engagement, where him and Catwoman go overseas and she fights Talia.
Yeah, that's so great.
Joel Jones draws that. And
it's so
kind of,
good.
like it's a 3-issue story, but man, that is awesome. And I think that might be my favorite part of that entire run.
Yeah.
I think I was reading it, I had to stop because I was just buying too many books at the time, but I was reading it thoroughly. And I remember really liking the part where he brings Psycho Pirate to take on Bane. That was his own like Suicide Squad, super creative. And, the late John Bierley was a huge fan of Tom King's Batman.
Yeah,
and I respected a lot, almost everything that John liked. I normally liked to some extent, if not the same as much as he did, because he loved what Tom King was doing. And that's the weird thing about Tom King is I understand why people wouldn't like him. And I think what the problem is that a lot of people, there's well, I mean, here's the thing though. I think that people, when they read his books, it's kind of all over the place, meaning that you might get some stories where there's lots of prose, like you're saying, Justin.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's just not a lot of prose at all. It's just kind of like you spent, $6 on a comic that like, there's not a lot of words. And I think Tom would even say to that, I think he even said like, it's all about the creative process. And I think that's the problem with comics though too, right? It's comics are so expensive that you kind of want to get something out of it. And if you want to be creative, like Tom King wants to, put some creativity to things, you're going to get blasted because people they want to get something meaty, I mean,
to be fair, he's still writing the book. Like he's telling the artist, like, here's what's going on. I mean, so whether there's words on the page, he's still the director of this book.
I agree.
And I think that's part of it. Like comics is one of the greatest mediums of storytelling, and it doesn't mean you're always going to throw words on a page.
Amen.
That's all I'm going to say. Tom King, and I'm objective with Tom King. I love most of his work, but I'll say Heroes in Crisis. I didn't love Heroes in Crisis.
A lot of people did not like Heroes in Crisis.
At best.
Yeah, and so like I don't want to sound like a shill. Like I can say like I love Jeff Johns, but there's some stuff I'm like I don't love Titans, and I know he's a producer of that. So
me too, Chris.
To hear your
hopefully
Chris
didn't hear my Superman.
Yeah, Chris did. No, Chris did.
He's texting Paul.
We're gonna wrap up here in a few minutes, but go ahead, Ryan. You want to go ahead and say another thing?
A couple things. So one thing that I do really want to hop on that I have totally missed is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' Criminal. I've never read Criminal, but I can tell you,
not either.
I got on a kick of the team's stuff. A recent one. I don't know if you've read this, Pulp.
Oh yeah, Pulp. I need to read that. I have that digitally.
This is awesome story, and I found it in my comic shop, and I forget what they call them. The signed by both of them.
Cool.
So that was cool. And then I got onto when they dropped them last year, their Reckless books.
Oh, nice.
I need to pick those up too. Yeah.
Also, awesome. And I'm trying to
Killer Be Killed. You should check that one out.
I have a bunch of that stuff digitally
in there too, signed. Yeah, and I started to see like the Killer Be Killed because Hoopla's got everything. Because Hoopla has everything. Those are available to read. Criminals are great to read. I know that they did the Fade Out, which is really good. So, and the next book in the Reckless series comes out in October, and that's kind of like, that's my style too, is to release a full graphic novel story like every 6 months, which I think is their goal here for stuff like that. I'm like, well, give me that and I'll buy it every time.
So Brubaker, he's interesting. I like Brubaker, but he seems to be kind of a bitter man. It feels like he's gotten kind of bitter at life a little bit, and just kind of, if you listen to some interviews, really? Yeah, not there's go to Word Balloon and he's interviewed.
Fade Out.
Yeah, I know what he said. But what you want to do is go to Word Balloon and download all the like recent podcasts with him. He had like a near death experience, kind of. He almost drowned.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. And I was like, huh. And he just kind of like, I don't know. It just seems different. He's really hating on Marvel. He's hating on, he just kind of say, well, but anyway, I say all that to be said because he talked about the difference between doing the 6 like single issues, and for him and Sean, they're like, well, it makes more sense for us to release it as a book, and just and they can control the quality of the story or the quality of the paper, and have people kind of like you said, Ryan, like really have a real tangible thing that the people can be like, yeah, this looks awesome. Because he was like talking crap about Marvel's trades and they look crappy and I don't like them. And I'm like, damn, dude, like this guy's hating. Which again, maybe he has reasons, whatever.
I mean, these hardcovers are really nice. They smell good.
Yeah. So, it's I don't know. Right. It's just one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's just, his attitude just seems weird to me a little bit. And but I still think he's a brilliant writer. So I need to read it. But I will say this. I have read Incognito is great. If you've heard of that.
I think I read like a weird summer special or something, there was a one-shot Image put out. Maybe I read.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only like 2 series. I think it's only 2 volumes, but it's fun, like kind of superhero, like criminal, like it's like criminal-ish a little bit. But I bought like this really nice original like hardcover thing of Criminal because I love Brubaker.
The recent ones.
The recent. No, a few years ago. This is like 10, 12 years ago now.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I was really excited to read it because I love Ed Brubaker. Yeah. And I read the first story. I'm like, I think this sucks. Straight up. I was like, I don't like this. It felt very Sin City. Like it was like, oh, I'm gonna be like Frank Miller in Sin City, and I'll have a little girl be a bartender. It's like, what? It's like this isn't really.
Have you checked out Scene of the Crime? He did this. It was the first thing I read by him. I think it was a DC like Vertigo book, and I don't know why I picked it up. It was him and Michael Lark, and I think he's reprinted it a few times, like through different publishers. I have the DC Vertigo version issues, but I think he's put it out through Image. Scene of the Crime is a cool story. Check it out if you can.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is Ed Brubaker's a brilliant writer, and like I think he's great. But it was weird because I read that at least the first arc of Criminal, and I'm like, I don't like this. Like it was not. It was, and I never finished it. I've never finished Criminal at this point. But I wanted to be killed or killed to kill or be killed. I'll need to read that. I've heard great things. Yeah, whatever it's called.
It's a trip, bro.
Yeah, I've heard it's great. And Pulp, I'm really he actually sold me again, even though he seemed weird in that interview to me a little bit. He sold me on Pulp. I bought it like that day, and so he's still a great writer. I'm excited to check it out. I actually want to buy Pulp like physically first because I think I want to read it, for what it is.
Why did you pick it up, Ryan? Why did you pick it up? Just
I found it in Hoopla.
Oh, okay.
That's how I found it initially.
What the hell is Hoopla? Tell me.
It's basically a digital library. So it's an app. As long as you have a library card and your library signed up through Hoopla, which mostly it is. So instead of going to the library and checking out a physical copy, you can check this out through a digital. In which on my iPad I have Hoopla because I have a library card, and it just opens up to thousands and thousands of comics and movies and music and audiobooks, as well as like electronic books. And Paul Herman, it is a must, and it's free. It's freaking free. And so they always update too. So like if a DC trade is, released on Tuesday, by Tuesday evening, usually it's on Hoopla for you to check out.
That's cool.
And so
that's awesome.
It's great because that's how it got me to buy Reckless. That's how it got me to buy Pulp is
really
I gave him a shot on Hoopla and I'm like, this is awesome. Give me a physical copy. Like I'll buy the physical copies if I like the books.
I know you have to go and we have to wrap it up in here anyway, but really quickly, is it like on the library app for audiobooks, you can only have one person can only check it out at a time? Is it like that?
No.
Really?
All three of us could check it out, and then we could call up Ryan Haas, who could check it out. We could call up Peter Vera, who could check it out too. We could call up Jeff Johns, who's probably on there. You know, he'd check it out too. I mean, everybody can check it out. It's not like it's limited. You better hurry up and get it. There's only 2 copies. No.
But it's probably, I'm assuming it's only on there for a short period of time though too, right?
It's on there forever. Dude, you type in Batman in the searches and it's like 500 results. And it's got such a variety of copies.
Dude,
I mean, do
really
it.
cool.
I'm the biggest cheerleader of Hoopla. I think I bring it up on my show every single episode.
That's great.
I'm canceling Marvel Unlimited and going to the librry.
I love Marvel
try it
Unlimited,
out. I'm telling you,
I love Marvel Unlimited.
Just
anyway,
shop.
all right, guys, this has been a blast. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on and just kicking it. And I know we eventually, well, of course, I mean, come on, but I know eventually we've got. I always hype it up as like your biggest show, only because I'm really excited about doing this show. Eventually, we'll eventually do it. For your show, of course.
Yes.
Because I think it's maybe one of my favorite Batman stories ever, and you're saving it just for me, and it means the world to me. So
what is it? I wrote it down on the calendar.
I'll tell you.
You tell me.
I think I put it on the calendar. It's supposed to be next month, Paul Herman.
Well, I'm ready. I'll reread it again. I reread it last summer.
You better start reading it right now so that you're prepared. And yeah, it's happening.
Well, I've read it, and I'll gladly read it again. It's I love that story. I'll tell you in a minute, Justin. But anyway, Ryan, thank you. Batman Book Club, get on it. He just started a YouTube page. Follow the YouTube page. Get on it. It's one of my favorite podcasts. I love it. I'm really behind right now, but I one of the things I love about your show, really quick, is that I can be behind and it's no big deal because it's not like you're current, you know what I mean? Like I can always be like, okay, cool. Like, oh yeah, that Bat book, I can go back and, I remember that Justin Kowalski and you did that one show. I'll go listen to that again. Or no, seriously.
Serial killer.
No, honestly, like I think like I did that once. I'm like, I read books. I think it was actually the Clayface episode. The Clayface episode with Mudpack episodes with Yaz. Yeah, that was great. And that's where I kind of got to know Yaz a little bit. I'm like, yeah, this Yaz guy rules, dude. Yeah. So anyway,
thank you. I
love your show. Go follow it. And Justin, thank you for returning somehow to the interwebs for me.
Somehow.
I know you've done it before,
I didn't have my router information. I was like, where is it at?
Right. No, but seriously, we're gonna do a life story Zdarsky Bagley show at one point.
Oh gosh, I talked about that. Yeah, the annual came out tomorrow.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it. It bums me out. I'm like, God damn it! I have the trade, but I don't want to buy the single issue, but I might have to.
Maybe I can slip you.
No, I want to buy the floppy. I might just buy the floppy. Right. We'll see. Anyway, but where can people find you, sir?
You can find me online. I actually changed my Twitter handle.
The Rock is dead.
Yeah,
it's no more.
Yeah, it's Justin M. Kowalski because that's really hard to say. But hey, sorry.
Where'd you come up with that? What was your inspiration?
My parents.
Cheers.
It just became so ridiculous saying underscore. I hate underscore, and then like my nickname.
I like underscore.
My nickname was stupid though, like
J
underscore. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like Etrigan in Batman Damned.
Yeah, it almost sounds like a dumb like hipster like hip hop kid. Like, oh, they actually say the underscore. I'm like, yeah,
J-Rocka, Gunasaka.
Yeah, it was time to change it. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter there, and then follow the show at Let's Go Podcast. Where, man, I feel like everybody on the crew does so much more than me right now. Like there's always shows.
Out. You have a crew, man. It's pretty rad.
They're
pretty cool.
They're pretty excellent. And so, ironically, I can't even make it on the shows they put out. I'm like always busy, and they're like, "We're doing a live stream." I'm like, "Oh man, have a good one."
Good luck.
I'll be here playing Mario Kart with my kid.
So
check that stuff out there. Yeah, go follow and hit the YouTube up because I actually have to record a version of the Golden Girls theme song since people hit they hit like a little milestone. So that's my my penance.
Awesome.
Is
That's cool.
to thank people for being a friend. So
that's awesome.
A rad friend.
Well,
Rad friend.
thank you guys all for joining. Please like and subscribe. I didn't even say that once until now, and no one's going to watch. Like maybe one person will watch the end of this thing, whatever. But thank you if you did watch the whole thing. Thank you guys for joining me, and we'll be on hopefully next week. I'm hoping to have a Batman '89 issue 1 review here soon, but we'll see. I don't know yet. You guys are hating on it, so who knows? Anyway, thank you for.
It's okay. Anyways,
all right,
great covers.
God damn it! All right, well, thank you, everyone. As always, read more comics. So good night.